Hey everyone, it's Ryan Howell, Small Business News. I got a good one for you today. Meetings. Meetings, more meetings. It seems all we ever do is meetings, and it's something that my clients deal with consistently is how can we get rid of meetings and run them more effectively, which we're going to get into here. Got a great piece from Tango where they cover some of that information. Now, for those that don't know, this is the program where I share just some of the information I share with my clients every single day. I'm a business coach and exit planner, works out of West Michigan and around the country, and I hope to earn your subscription. So let's jump right into it here. Meetings have replaced actual work at white-collar jobs. Yeah, we know. Everyone knows. It's crazy the number of meetings that we're having right now. And you have to log in after hours to get anything done. You have to go in early or late to work to do your work that you're supposed to do at work. It's crazy right now. And that says an awful lot about the way management and the overall business is set up. But let's take a look at what they have to say here. Again, link's going to be in the description somewhere down here to go check it out. Now, if you feel like a workday is full of endless meetings, you're not alone. The shift toward remote work changed office communication and resulted in more meetings for many workers. In fact, according to a new report from The Atlantic, the average workday is now almost entirely composed of meetings. That is wild. Meetings upon meetings upon meetings. But other tasks still have to get done. And again, most employees are forced to spend their personal time completing the work that meetings have pushed aside. And for me, that is a symptom of a much greater, more foundational issue that I'm going to get into as we go a little bit further down here. When the pandemic sent knowledge workers home, official meetings replaced casual interactions and made it impossible for many people to get things done unless they found time to log back online after dinner. Derek Thompson, a staff writer for The Atlantic, wrote. That's an important piece. Let's not gloss over that. The casual interaction. That's important. Now, as Thompson noted, informational conversations and low-key chats have been largely replaced by formal meetings that take much more time, yet are far less productive. However, while workers focus on almost exclusively on meetings during the day, they are not actually assigned less work. Instead, the work eats into their personal time. About 1/3 of the workers in a Microsoft study were as likely to work at 10 p.m. as they were at 8 a.m. Oh, that's awful. This uptick in meetings is damaging both work-life balance and productivity. I'm not even worried about productivity from just people's psyches. It's terrible. And I know this thing, and I see it with my clients all the time. This is a constant. They're in meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting. And when I come in, here's one of the first tidbits that I share with my clients is that meetings exist to close communication gaps. That's what they're there for. There's some sort of information that needs to be exchanged that isn't built into their processes. So they have to have a meeting so that whoever needs it or is curious about it can ask the question, and then people have to, obviously share it that way. When instead, that information should be available somewhere in some way, shape, or form and being shared with the person who needs it. So you don't have to have a meeting. That's the first piece that we look at there. But let's continue here. However, less obviously, this trend is also damaging to the productivity of employees. Microsoft Vice President Jared Spataro told The Atlantic, I think we've hit the high point of max human inefficiency in white-collar work. It sometimes seems as if the modern worker spends more time talking about work than actually working. Man, we all know that face right there. We've been there. It's also not just the meetings that take up time and halt productivity. It's also the coordination to get everyone on the call and the time it takes to get back to work after the meeting. 25 minutes on average, according to the Atlantic article. That's crazy. And the typical response I would see from social media was absolutely right. It's that 90% of meetings are a complete waste of everyone's time. One user wrote, this is a social media response here. Most of the people on those meetings are justifying their job by setting up these useless meetings. All right. We're going to stop it there. Again, go check this out. The remainder of the article is just a couple tweets of people, again, coming in and just saying, yes, these meetings are useless. And while, yes, they are useless for quite a few people's time, what they are is a symptom of poor communication processes within your organization. You're doing work, but the information and the data is not being forwarded where it needs to be, or it is not being sent forward in a way that is useful to the person that's supposed to be receiving it. So a couple things that I have done to help leaders and managers spur their middle managers, supervisors, and everybody across the board towards accountability for their meetings. And it is that every meeting up in the corner, right, somewhere in there, that they have to answer a couple questions. First and foremost, what's the objective of the meeting? Like, what is our actual objective? 2, what does done look like? Like, how do we know when we're actually done with this meeting, right? How do we know we've met the objective? We've got to be able to show it tangibly. But 3rd, and this is the piece that got managers and supervisors and leaders really invested in getting rid of meetings. Every meeting has to show somewhere in the minutes and actually be on the screen, right? If they're doing a Zoom call or if they're doing a presentation, something's happening, they have to announce how much money is being invested in real dollars in this meeting. And the way you calculate that is by how much people are getting paid times the amount of time that they're in there plus prep time and follow-up, just to, if there's any return notes. And what I've found is that on average, just a quick, we need a 45-minute meeting to discuss this, tends to hit somewhere around $1,000 for most places. Just a quick 45-minute meeting, they're hitting $1,000 to $1,500 just to get people in and be able to answer that question. And when those managers then have to report up to their bosses saying, yeah, I had a meeting about this, and like, so you spent, how much was it? Oh, it was $1,200 on this meeting. It includes overhead, by the way, how much it costs for, and we give them a certain number that it costs for the meeting room. Wait, you just spent $1,200 of the company's time to have a conversation about people because you didn't know this? It's right in this report. Why didn't you just go get it? And it delivered some accountability where everybody had to start justifying their expenses. So it's something I just recommend everybody takes a look at, and you make the effort to do it, and you're gonna be pretty happy with it. So with that, again, links are in the description there. Again, I hope I earned your subscription today. If you'd like to learn more about how I help companies get over this meetings debacle and get back to doing real work and grow their businesses faster than they ever thought possible, reach out at summitbusinessguides.com. Take care, and I will see you next time.